I made a joke this morning that we were only allowing people on one stage if they'd won a BAFTA. Those of us who were lucky to be in the room, and those of us who were lucky enough to watch it on TV a couple of weeks ago, were delighted to see colleagues from the organisation coming up next win much deserved and much admired BAFTA for all their work. We make no apologies about dragging MediCinema back to each of our conferences to give you an update on their incredible work. So I'm delighted to welcome to the stage CEO of MediCinema, Mr. Colin Lawrence.
Phil, James, Maria, thank you for dragging me back. As you said, it's lovely to be dragged, and thanks for such a welcome. For obvious reasons, we feel very much at home here, and it's the perfect opportunity to thank you all and bring you up to date with what we've been doing. It's been a really busy year. We set out with the objective of increasing the number of screenings that we do in our hospitals and evolving the way that we engage with hospital communities. And of course, to increase the number of beneficiaries. We want as many people as possible who are in hospital and centres of care to be able to benefit from a MediCinema experience. And the fact that we're able to do that is really all down to the generosity of you as a sector. We can only do what we do because of the generosity of everything that you do for us. Be that through in-foyer, point-of-sale donations from your audiences, team fundraising events, and our national preview screenings. So last May, somewhat frustratingly on a very hot day, our thanks to all of you who participated in the preview screening of Garfield, and a shout out to Warner Brothers Discovery for the 3rd of April for those of you participating in our forthcoming charity screening. All of these events and actions that many of you undertake for us mean that we can carry on delivering a service and expanding what we do. This time last year I talked about our strategy for growth and for MediCinema to be operating nationally and present within all NHS trusts, and that effectively means that we double the size of our network by 2035. Opening Alder Hey in November was a matter of immense pride for us, bringing MediCinema to the Northwest for the first time. For those of you that don't know, Alder Hey Children's NHS Foundation Trust is one of Europe's biggest and busiest children's hospitals, where they treat everything from common illnesses to highly complex and specialist conditions. And families are especially impacted by the hospitalisation of a child. Just to give you an idea, we started trial screenings at Alder Hey in November last year, and by the end of December we'd already delivered 1,200 patient experiences. So in the next few slides I'm going to share with you how we do that. So I'm taking you inside the atrium of a public health NHS hospital, and that's a bit of a fisheye view, but you're looking down from the first floor, and on the left you can see what's a lecture theatre. And this was the only space that we were able to identify in the hospital that we thought was ripe and suitable for a conversion to a MediCinema. And this is what it looked like. And normally we want our cinema experiences to be immersive. We want the patient to experience a real sense of special environment when they move from hospital, perhaps in their bed or wheelchair, and into one of our cinemas, but we didn't have space for a foyer. But that did give us the opportunity to do something fantastic with our design work and make visiting MediCinema really special nonetheless. And here's what we were able to do. So thanks to some very real life magic from our architects at UNIC and the brilliant buildings team, we were able to create this incredible space. So when patients come, which is from about 10 yards away from the screen, they're walking on a rainbow floor towards the MediCinema. The screens outside do promote the films, but actually they're interactive and you can game on them as well. And it means that there's a real sense of a very special moment, a special journey when they're able to join with us. And thanks to some help from Moana, who joined us on the opening day, we were able to open the cinema for patients in November and bringing that special experience. I'll just give you a little view inside as well, into an education into what that looked like before and again after for MediCinema. So we work really with the hospital, with the engagement teams of patients to take in what they wanted to see from a MediCinema, and obviously worked to transform the space to be able to take beds, wheelchairs, and to make it feel really special. So this is next up for us, and in October we announced our latest partnership with Manchester University Foundation Trust, and this takes us on to the Oxford Road campus, so right in the middle of the city, and that lecture theatre, which is known as the Royal Infirmary Undergrad Lecture Theatre, and it sort of looks a bit like a lecture theatre from when I was an undergrad, which you can probably tell some time ago. But it's really sort of hasn't changed since, and that's right at the junction between the Royal Infirmary and Royal Manchester Children's Hospital. So it promises to be one of our most spectacular sites. And to give you an idea of what we hope that's going to look like soon, that's the unit view of what it looks like inside. So taking some of the themes of the city, we've used the bee and beehive symbolism on the wall, but actually converting what's a pretty much redundant space within a hospital into a 21st century cinema for patients, NHS staff and patients, their carers and families, and NHS staff. So we've got a really busy year ahead of us, and hopefully announcing another site in the Midlands soon. As Phil said, and I think most of you know, that we last month MediCinema was the recipient of a BAFTA for outstanding contribution to British cinema. It's the most incredible platform for us as a charity, not least because on the night, I was able to thank and acknowledge everyone who enables us to do the work that we do. Some of you know that the BAFTA ceremony isn't live, it's a really long show. We didn't know that our OBCC award would actually make the broadcast, but it did, and when I switched my phone on at 8 o'clock that night, it went absolutely mad. And the response has been incredible, and so many more people have heard about us and know about the work that we do. But I'm going to show you the short reel that Penny Lane edited for us that went out on the BAFTAs night in a minute. But before that, for those of you that didn't see it, I did want to just reiterate to you what I said to the audience at BAFTA on the night, which is that on this special night, I very much want to salute the generosity of everyone who donates, the UK cinema community, the studios and distributors, all of whom make it possible to keep doing what we do, and at no cost to NHS or to patients, and we're incredibly proud of that. And as I said at the beginning, the thank you for all of your participation and support of MediCinema is very heartfelt. So to do that on the stage at the BAFTAs, and it turns out to national and international audiences, was just incredible. So I'll finish with the lovely show reel that we shared on the night.